good day, beloveds. How do you do? Welcome to Talks from the Heart with Manda, brought to you by Agape Wellness Coaching, a place where being begins at root. I am Manda, a spirituality teacher and transformational relationship coach, as well as founder of Agape Wellness Coaching, and I'll be journeying with you, talking heart to heart. Welcome once again, beloveds, to another episode of Talks from the Heart with Manda, where we explore the depths of spiritual and mental wellness, personal growth, and self-discovery in our relationships. I'm your host, Manda, still journeying with you, talking heart to heart. I'm glad you're here with me today to enjoy this platform where we explore the spaces between soul and self, between longing and becoming. Now, beloveds, as I always do, I encourage you to grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and settle in as we begin today's discussion. If it's your first time here, welcome. You are welcome here, and I hope you enjoy the space. While at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Okay. Today's conversation is born from two heartfelt questions, one from Tasha all the way in New York and from an anonymous soul here in South Africa. Both reached out to me from different corners of the world, yet the questions echo the same sacred wondering. Tasha asks, how do I know it is time to start my spiritual journey? Tasha asks, how do I know it is time to start my spiritual journey? And Anonymous, on the other hand, wonders, how do I know I'm on a spiritual journey? How do I know I'm on a spiritual journey? Two great questions, yet one deep yearning beneath them both. The longing to understand where we stand in the great unfolding of our soul. And so, beloveds, today we sit here with this mystery together, the beginning of spiritual journey, the beginning of spiritual journey. We often think a spiritual journey begins when we make a choice to meditate, to pray, to change our lifestyle, or to seek guidance from a teacher. But on the contrary, the truth is that the journey begins long before our first conscious step. It begins in the quiet aches that say, there must be more than this. It begins in the gentle discontent of the heart when the outer achievements no longer satisfy the inner hunger. It begins in the whispers of the soul saying, it's time to remember who you are. It is time to remember who you are. To begin a spiritual journey is not to walk towards something new, but to awaken to something ancient, something that has been waiting patiently within you all along. Sometimes it begins through loss, when something we relied on falls away. Sometimes through wonder, when beauty moves us beyond words. Sometimes it is in the beauty that moves us beyond words. And sometimes simply through a quiet knowing that the life we've been living is too small for the vastness of our being. Sometimes that quiet knowing, that knowing within you that there must be more to life. The life I've been living is way too small for the vastness of who I am as a being. Now, to Tasha's question, how do I know it is time? How do I know it is time to start my spiritual journey? You know it is time, beloved, when life stops making sense in the old ways. When things that once satisfied you begin to feel empty or distant. When you crave truth more than comfort. When you crave truth more than comfort and authenticity more than approval. then you know it is time. You may feel called to solitude, to nature, to stillness. You may even begin to sense synchronicities, small signs that seem to guide you gently forward. You may also feel a deep restlessness, a holy discontent that will not let you stay asleep. You may feel that holy discontent that will not let you stay asleep. Once you've awakened, once there's that nudging in your soul, you will feel that restlessness, you will feel that discontentness that will not allow you to stay asleep. This soul's invitation, it is not dramatic or grand. It is subtle, tender, and deeply personal. You will know it's time, not because someone told you to begin. No, but because something within you has already started moving towards the light. You know it's time when your questions change, when instead of asking, what do I want from life, you begin to ask, what is life asking of me? You will see a sudden shift, sometimes slow, but that shift is there. When your perspectives and perceptions change, you know it is in that openness of heart and mind, that shift, that sacred turning is the true beginning. It is the true beginning. When you awaken to the understanding that it isn't just about you, but about the whole, about the entire universe in which you exist. It is when you awaken to your oneness with all of it. That shift, that understanding that there must be more to all of this. That is the true beginning. Tasha, I hope this answers your question. And if you have more to ask, if you'd like support, go on and reach out to us. Now, moving on to the next question. How do I know I'm already on the journey? And this is anonymous from South Africa. The question is, how do I know I'm already on the journey? Beloved Anonymous, I appreciate your question. And if you are African like me, you know that for us Africans, being alive is being spiritual. Just being is spiritual. Being who you are is your expression of your spirituality. So for us, a spiritual journey is not separate from our daily living. So if you are African like me, of course, spirituality and the spiritual journey are not necessarily separate. But beloved, I will answer it in this very simple manner. You perhaps are already walking the journey. You're probably walking the journey. You are perhaps already walking the journey. The truth is, every human life is a spiritual journey. Every human life is a spiritual journey. The difference is awareness. Some walk asleep, while others begin to wake and notice the sacred in the ordinary. The truth is that every human life is a spiritual journey. The difference is in our consciousness. It is in the fact that some people will continue to walk asleep, while others begin to wake and notice that sacredness is in all things, in the ordinary things. If you find yourself growing gentler and more compassionate, more willing to see lessons even in pain, you are on the journey. You are on the journey. If you feel moments of deep peace amidst chaos, or find yourself questioning old patterns and beliefs, you are on a journey. You are on the journey. If life feels as though it's unraveling, yet you sense there is purpose in the unraveling, you are most certainly on a journey, on the journey. The path does not always look graceful. Sometimes it looks like confusion, loneliness, or even despair. But even in those moments, your soul is at work, shedding all that no longer serves you, making space for what is true. You are never outside the path, beloved, only ever at a different bend of the same river, flowing towards awakening. So, You're never outside of the path. You are never outside of the path, beloved, only ever at a different bend on the same river flowing towards awakening. And sometimes you are already awake, just going through the different corners of the path, right? So it's possible that you have been on the journey, just not intentional or conscious about your walk in this path. But we all have been on the journey. We just awaken to our walk at different points in our lives. So yeah, I don't know about you, but if you, again, are African like me, you know that spirituality and spiritual journeying is our everyday life. It is never separate from who we are. And there's really not a point in time where we say it begins and it ends. But there is a point of awakening. There is a point of awakening because our everyday being, our everyday living is a spiritual one. So, yeah, if anything, you want to just say it's the beginning of your awakening. You're already on the journey. All right. I hope I've answered your question, and we are going to address the misconceptions along the way. If you're on this journey, on the spiritual journey and path, you will realize that there are many misconceptions along the way. Many people believe that the spiritual journey begins with rituals or religion. I don't know where we get that from. That one must meditate perfectly or study sacred texts or renounce the world. Those are most of the things we encounter. There is that misconception. But spirituality is not about becoming someone new. It is more about remembering who you are than it is about becoming something new, right? Rituals and practices are tools. They help us stay awake. But they are not the journey itself. The real pilgrimage is inward towards the truth, compassion, and inner stillness. So, more than anything, you want to realize that also our spiritual journey inward is not going to be the same for every person. As the soul unfolds the path before us, we may not have the same experiences. That is why there's also no competition in spirituality. I see that sometimes people will compete with each other. I'm more awakened than you are. And no, we don't have those things. On this journey, the journey is personal and it's different for every individual. So there is no competition in spirituality, no hierarchy of souls, only the unfolding of awareness in its own divine timing. There is no competition in spirituality, no hierarchy of souls, only the unfolding awareness in its own divine timing. The soul will unfold before you. The Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, the inner man will unfold the path before you. Your awareness will awaken and unfold in its own divine timing. And you cannot force things. You cannot want to be like the next person. You cannot want to be super chosen whilst others are chosen. You cannot want to be most enlightened, master enlightened, whatever they call, whatever these terms are in the spirituality communities. Those are mostly misconceptions. And I hope you understand. I'm not mocking. I'm not throwing stones at anyone. I'm simply saying that there are no competitions. There's no hierarchy of souls. Only the unfolding of our awareness in its own divine timing. My timing and another person's timing are not the same. We're each journeying at our own pace. So here are some guiding tips for those just beginning their awareness journey. If you feel called to begin or to deepen, start. Simply start. No need to force transformation. Just start. Begin by being present. Take a few moments each day to read and listen inwardly. Journal what stirs your heart. Notice what expands your energy and what depletes it. Walk in nature, for the earth teaches silently. walk in nature. Always nurture your oneness with nature, because nature, the earth, has a way of teaching, and it does so silently. Practice curiosity instead of judgment. Practice curiosity instead of judgment. Curiosity opens the heart. Judgment closes it. So you want to be open. You want to approach every situation, every event, whether be it spiritual or physical events. Approach them with openness of heart and mind. Be curious about what it means to you at that very moment. Above all, trust your own rhythm. There is no rush. The journey unfolds as you are ready. Remember, the divine never demands. She teaches. Your only task is to say yes again and again to the gentle call within. Remember, the divine never demands. She teaches. Your only task is to say yes again and again to the gentle call within. So, beloveds, whether you are sensing the beginning of something new or realizing that you've been on a journey all along, know that every breath, every question, and every moment of awakening is part of your sacred unfolding. You do not have to chase enlightenment. You only need to come home to yourself. The path does not begin somewhere else. It begins right where you are. Take this knowing gently into your day. Trust that the same force that called you will also guide you. Take this knowing gently into your day that the same force that called you will guide you. The same spirit within you that called you to journey inward is the same spirit that will also guide you along the way. Beloveds, we have reached the end of today's segment, and I'd like to say, may your path be gentle, your awareness deep, and your heart ever open. Embrace yourself in the process and give yourself a little grace at the different points of your journey. You will need it. Now, beloveds, remember this podcast show and all its content is available to you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, YouTube, and of course our website at www.agapewellness-center.com. Like, subscribe, share, and tune in again for more. You can also reach out to us through our contact page on our website or by emailing info@agapewellness-center.com. From my heart to yours, beloveds, I just want to remind you, you are strong, you are capable, and it doesn't matter what unfolds. You are more than equipped to go through this journey. And so, beloveds, as we close the sacred space of reflection, may you walk the path of your own heart with tenderness and truth. Remember, you're not becoming light. You are remembering that you are light. Every breath, every silence, every question is part of your unfolding. May awareness illuminate your steps. May peace rest gently upon your breath. May compassion soften your seeing and look. The quiet, eternal kind be your guide, your home, and your soul. From my heart to yours, thank you for being here, for listening, for journeying with me. May today meet you gently. May tomorrow find you kinder to yourself. And may love, the silent presence beneath all things, carry you home again and again. I'm your host, Manda, signing out until the next time. Beloveds, walk gently, live openly, and stay close to yourself. Stay blessed.